All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Saturday Sit Down. I am T. Harris.
I am QG, aka Nerdy Lil Bubba.
And we are welcoming you back to season 2, episode 2 of the Saturday Sit Down, where our mission is to share our love for music in a way that is accessible and enjoyable for everyone, from the novice to the knowledgeable. Again, we apologize for the delay, but we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Thank you. We have having some technical difficulties. The other half of the R&B Reps, she's coming in. So as soon as she comes in, I'm gonna drop her on the screen and we'll be ready to rock and roll. But we are excited to have with us. So when QG and I put together our list of episodes for the year, because we planned this out. When we planned this out, man? Like January?
It was like early January.
Yeah, early January. We planned out what our episodes were going to look like for the year. And I said, Q, we got to get the R&B Reps on here. So it's dope, man, how we went from being like fans of y'all to being included in y'all's circle. So for that, we are grateful, man. So thank y'all for including us. So it's funny. I'll tell a story, and Q, you may want to jump in too. I don't remember what episode it was. I think it might have either been our hip hop episode or our producers episode. And JR was in the chat and he just firing off comments, man. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
yeah.
Who is this brother? Like, he dropping knowledge. I'm like, who is this? Yeah. And then it was probably 10 minutes or so after the conclusion of the episode, he inboxed probably, I think both of us. It was like, hey, JR from the R&B Reps. We love y'all show. We love what y'all do. We'd love to have y'all on our show, man. And the rest is history, man.
Yep. And each one of us made our own, made an episode of their show. I remember I did mine on, I know it was Midnight Star, No Party on the Dance Floor.
Yep. And I did Boys to Men, Water Runs Dry. And then they invited us back and allowed us to review a full album. And then I did, what album did I do? I did Boys to Men.
Harmony.
Yep. And then you did the Midnight Star, right?
Yeah, I did the Midnight Star for that show. The first, I can't remember what the first show was.
It was Shalimar, right?
Yes, it was Shalimar. It was Shalimar. Yep.
Oh man, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Elise on. She is here now. There she is.
There she is.
Elise in the house.
Here I go.
Yeah, listen. Elise is in the house. So I was just telling them how we came upon y'all. Like, I've been watching y'all's podcast on and off for probably the first few months when I first started this platform. And it's funny, I told him how JR, he jumped in the chat one of our episodes and he just started firing off comments, man. He interacting with the people, and next thing we know, we get an invite to be on y'all's show.
That's how he do.
Yeah. He was bad.
And then I don't tell her afterwards.
Yeah.
And don't. I get a schedule request in the mail. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, JR, did Timogen recommended us to y'all?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Okay. Yeah, give him his little credit, you know.
Yeah.
Timogen, Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know you got the damn part in the chat, man. But Timogen, man, we appreciate y'all for connecting us with them. So Elise and JR, y'all introduce yourselves. Tell the people about you and about your platforms, whether that be individually, and of course, talk about the R&B Reps. So ladies first. Elise, I'll allow you to go, and then JR, do your thing, man.
I always make JR do the R&B representative spiel. That's his
Okay.
Damn it. I thought she was gonna do it, but okay.
He knew it though.
Yeah.
You do it so well.
Go ahead, JR.
Okay, so y'all, we are the R&B Reps. We actually started our platform from actually pain. I love to talk about that because my grandmother had passed and Elise's grandfather had passed. And one day we just was like, yo, you know, we were going through it, and me and her just dramatic when we talk about music anyway, as a lot of y'all know. So we was like, yo, Elise was like, let's just do it live. Let's just see, you know what I'm saying? See how it goes. And it hit. A lot of people was just as dramatic and crazy as we are. So we was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we started doing topics and all that, just coming up with different topics and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, people was kind of stealing that too. But But so we was like, yo, let's continue to do topics and just talk about just the history of R&B for real. So then Elise came up with Catch That, because she was like, yo, we need to leave Instagram and head over to YouTube, because what Instagram got going on is just too much. So she was like, yo, let's create a show where we can just talk about different topics of albums and songs and all of this. So I was like, cool. So we started our first episode with Keith Murphy, and we talked about 90s R&B for real. And it was such a great episode. So then Elise was like, won't we talk about albums? And I was like, okay. So then we had guests like Brian Alexander Morgan come on. We had Terrence Martin come on. We had Trina Broussard come on, and they talked about different albums. But Elise was like, what about if we just have normal people like us just come on and talk about songs? Yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, well, what are we going to call the show? She was like, well, you like to use Catch That a lot. So won't we just call the show Catch That? I was like, all right, works for me. You're the boss. I'm just behind you. So I was like,
don't do that. Don't do that.
So I was like, all right, cool. So then after that, it was like we just started building this family, man, with Chastity and Timogen and Neltron and you guys. And it just became a family because, again, we all love this thing what we call R&B, and we love the culture and we love everything about it. We want people to know the history and all that kind of stuff. So that's where it started. And like you said, everything is history with this. So this is really what R&B Reps is about. Just R&B history and having fun talking about it. That's about it.
Absolutely, man. And it's funny, man, how you say how y'all started. We had a similar start as well. Like I started When the Needle Drops just to share vinyl records. And Q had his thing. He had his show, Nerdy Little Bubba. And I just texted him one afternoon and said, hey, man, got an idea. Let's start doing Instagram lives and talking about music. And that was, a year ago last month.
Yes, it was.
Yep. And we've been doing it ever since. But like you said, man, we felt like in order for this to grow, in order for us to start attracting more people other than the folks that we're connected with on Instagram, Q said, hey, man, let's make the jump to YouTube. Even though I was hesitant to do it, you always got to have that one partner. It's like, hey, man, just do it. Go for it. So we appreciate it.
I know that well.
Yep. All right, Elise, tell the good people about yourself.
Elise, I am many things. I am very much an artist. I am a writer, poet, and like I tell JR to claim it, music historian.
There you go.
Graphic designer and a bunch of other things, all within the creative realm. And I've been a music lover. When me and JR got to meet, it was, lightning in a bottle. Like it was, people around us saw it, like even beyond the music show thing, but like, yeah, they're gonna be friends, and it didn't take no time. So, we just love music. We want R&B to be presented in an accurate way, in a respectful way, paying homage, but also welcoming the new and kind of, I think, giving our takes because we've been through these great periods. So we have something to offer these artists or fans about what's great about the roots of the music that they're trying to do. So that's very important to me.
Yep. Well, thank y'all for that. And again, we appreciate y'all being here this evening on our platform, the Saturday Sit Down. So today's episode, the 1980s. The 1980s. This is part 2 of our decade series. Last episode we did the 70s, so now we're talking about the 80s, the decade that I was born. I was born in 1980. So this is sort of the formative years of music for me, where I was introduced to the music that I fell in love with by my mom and my aunties and those that were around them. So this is the era or time of music that made me who I am, so to speak. So, question for the group: what immediately comes to mind when you think of 1980s music? JR.
Transition. Okay. That's when it comes for me. Coming out of obviously the disco era for real, where we were clearly running it. The 70s was ours. It was very black and it was amazing, and mainstream couldn't stand it. Mm-hmm. So they did this thing with disco and do all of this kind of stuff, and it was just like they came with new wave, which wasn't nothing but Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ohio players and all that. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a transition type of thing, right? And
R&B light.
R&B light. That's what we call it. R&B light.
Diet R&B.
Right. That exactly. So, and then it was just a period where now the synthesizers are coming in now very, very hard. And it's like that electro type of feeling is coming in. So for me, anytime I think about the 80s, it's just a transition to where we were in the 70s to the 80s. It's like you hear it in the music. So when I think about 80s, I think of transition.
All right, Elise.
I have 4 syllables. Synthesizer.
That's it. Between the 808s and the, what's it called? The Synclaver and the Yamaha and Casio keyboards. That was the sound that was what defined music in the 80s, man. You went from like this heavy instrumental big band sound to everything's computerized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Q, what you think of when you think of 80s music, man?
It went from, as JR stated earlier, disco to what they called dance music, but I like to call it Jerry Curl funk. And
you said that in the episode, yeah.
Jerry Curl.
You sure did.
It was Jerry.
He's
from
consistent.
1980 to 1986, it was Jerry Curl funk and beat. You know, I mean, you could feel the Carefree Curl coming out the records, you know, that were coming out during that time. And then we transitioned from that to New Jack Swing.
Yep.
The one thing that JR touched on that was that I found interesting was that they tried to kill disco because, as he said, we were running the 70s, but people still wanted to dance. People still wanted to dress up and go out and have a good time. Yeah. So they tried to kill it, but it didn't work at all.
Yeah, they tried to kill it, but then the R&B producers of the 70s, they started working with white acts and gave them the exact same sound.
That part.
Exactly. Yeah. Prime example, Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards.
Yep. It was the same sound with a different face.
That's
well.
That's it. That is exactly it. The same soulful, dance beats. They say, okay, you don't want black faces on it? We'll just find us a nice white one named Madonna.
Oh!
Uh-oh, there's the turn. It's our first turn of the evening.
Did he lie?
He didn't. No, he didn't. I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean,
he's
absolutely right.
But,
you know what I'm saying? They said
he ain't lie. He ain't lie, but not too much over the other. Not too much.
Yeah,
I mean,
because that time, because her very pop, not R&B side of stuff, still pop for her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
With the blacks,
that.
With the blacks.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's true, but now Rodgers.
But you're right. You ain't lie.
Oh, you didn't lie.
They told us. They said, okay. Bob Johnson said, well, I want to create an outlet to showcase black music videos. He started up BET in 1980. People seeing the thing that MTV was the one that had the video that started the whole video music revolution. No, it was Bob Johnson. It came out in 1982, but then they refused to play any black artist videos, whether it be Michael or Prince.
Yeah.
It took David Bowie, the Thin White Duke, to tell them, hey, why are you not playing black music videos? Mm-hmm. It took CBS Records and Warner Brothers Records to hem them up and say, either you play their videos or you won't play nobody's videos. And they were the two biggest, record companies around. So MTV had no choice but to cave in.
Yep. And then from that point forward, black music became quote unquote pop music.
Yeah.
Like I said in our promo reel, that's when your artists, black artists, particularly at that time, the more popular ones, were known by a single name: Michael, Janet, Prince, Luther, Chaka, Whitney, Bobby, so forth and so on.
Yep.
All right, for me, man, when I think of 80s music, like you said, man, you talked about the visuals. Music videos prior to the 1980s, all they did was like perform like they were in a concert. But then you have Michael Jackson who comes along and makes these music videos that are like movies. And from that point forward, music videos went from being performative to thematic. Like they were almost like miniature movies after post Thriller or post Thriller album, so to speak. So yeah, because of that vision, that changed the landscape. And like you said, JR, man, that transition from it just simply being a black music, black sound to it becoming household names in music, that's the 80s for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. What was the first 80s song that you remember, or the first music video from the 80s you remember? Anybody can answer. Be the first one to answer.
Billie Jean.
Mm-hmm.
Vividly remember. Vividly. That's my first memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say Billie Jean and then Thriller, which I was scared of until I was damn near 12 years old. Yeah. All right. Since I embarrassed myself, go ahead, man.
I'm gonna say 1999 by Prince. That was the first 80s song I vividly connected to, besides Shalimar. But yeah, Prince 1999.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, JR.
Mine is "Don't Stop the Music" by Yarborough and the Peoples.
Okay.
That was
and
like
Peoples.
anytime like I think of that, that's like the first 80s song that I think about. And like we described it, them synths, dang, like how it starts right from the beginning. That synth is strong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was definitely the first song that I think about when it comes to the 80s. But the first video will probably have to be Janice Nasty.
Oh yeah.
For me, and it's so crazy. I remember vividly remembering that video, but my mom said as a kid, she was like, any other video will come on, you will just be loud and extra, as I am now, as y'all can see, and watch it. Don't give too much to the people. Give too much, girl in the yellow shirt. Don't do that. But it was. She said when Nasty will come on, the video will come on, I wouldn't talk.
Yeah.
At all.
Set you down.
And they would sit me that she was like, I would look at you and be like, about 2 seconds ago, he's yelling and doing all of this. And then Janet Nasty come on and he's just staring at the TV. I knew after the womb that Janet was going to be here for me.
My mom always tells the story of me as a youngin, always singing along to Lionel Richie's "You Are" in the back seat. She said I sung along to everything, but she said that was the song I sung at the top of my lungs in the back of the car. Yeah. And it's funny because I still love that song too. It's crazy. I didn't know that, but she always talks about this. And especially once we started this platform, she's like, you make sure you talk about how much you used to love Lionel Richie's "You Are" when you were a kid.
I'm just getting into 80s Lionel now.
Me too. Because there was a while there where I wouldn't listen to 80s Lionel. I was like, I'm only listening to Commodore's Lionel. But yo, Lionel's pen game, something serious, man.
I don't have a problem with it now. Because before I used to give that 80s Lionel a lot of fever. Oh Lord, she done went to the front, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Let me get this out. So I was like, now I'm into it now. Now I've been introduced to Lionel now. Like I'm like, I rock with the albums for real. Like I used to give it mad people. Like I'm not listening to this. I'm only rocking with the Commodores when he actually had the fro. Like that's where I'm at. But now I can rock with it. So I'm getting introduced to it. So I'm good with it. So yeah, I had to get that out. Go ahead, Elise. Go ahead and read.
No. Everybody can change their mind. But you used to be my biggest hater, and we used to skip through the metal hating.
Okay.
That's a good one. I never heard.
I just made that up.
So JR used to give Elise fever about liking Lionel Richie, huh?
I did. Elise didn't like Lionel. I didn't either.
No, we both hate. We used to skip arm in arm hating.
Yes. Bad. Yes. Yep. Yes. And then I think I remember telling her, I was like, sis, I'm actually getting into Lionel. And we were on the phone, and it was just like the worst awkward 15 seconds ever because she said nothing. I was like, are you there? And she was like, you really into Lionel now?
I thought maybe you had got kidnapped. I was trying to listen to taps. I don't know. You might be trying to set me up, dog.
Lionel can keep the 2 songs from the 80s. He can keep, and then we move on. He can keep All Night Long. And
yes.
Feeling. Get out of here.
Oh.
He can keep them too.
Damn.
Now, TH, you know he had to make something for pop radio.
He did. And
he had to make something for pop radio.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to give Lionel credit because like 80s Motown, he helped keep 80s Motown afloat between him.
All right. We're not gonna go about my label now. You know, I know the 80s was very hard for them.
Yeah, that's your label right there. We'll move on. Man.
I don't like this conversation.
See, hey, listen, y'all are in the chat. This is what happens when you on an episode with the R&B Reps, man. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Listen, we Q and I been looking forward to this for a long time. So give us in advance, but we're gonna cut up a little bit tonight. All right.
Yes,
told y'all this is gonna be a lively show.
We're also gonna cut up a little bit too. All right. So this is how we're gonna do it. Now we're gonna get into our top 5s. We're gonna get into our top 5s. But what's gonna make some of y'all mad is, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, Q, but I'm gonna let you talk to it, talk about it with the people. When we all put together our top 5s, none of us had a Prince or a Michael Jackson song in the top 5. Yeah, that's right.
None.
Say something.
Come on, we ready to fight because I know that's you. I know you mad.
But it's a reason.
There's a reason.
There's a reason.
It's reasons.
We are. Let's say this: we are not diminishing Michael Jackson or Prince. We get it. We understand. We absolutely, we get it. I know y'all gonna be mad as us. It's cool, but there's a reason for it. Q, talk to the people.
So basically, we didn't have any Michael Jackson or Prince songs on our list because that's too easy. We would have to dedicate a whole nother episode specifically to Prince and Michael Jackson. Their catalogs are too deep. I mean, they were running neck and neck when it came down to running the 80s. And so to me, and y'all gonna get mad, but I don't care, it's lazy to just pick 5 Prince or 5 Michael Jackson songs.
Yeah.
We had to think about what kind of songs, of the 80s to pick, because it makes you think of all the songs that came out in the 80s. What are the songs that really touched your heart besides Michael Jackson or Prince jams?
There you go. All right. Elise, I know you had something to say along those lines too.
What he said.
Yeah, it's
exactly what he said.
Yeah. And I think Q and I talked about this when we did our 80s, not our 80s, our top R&B acts, our favorite R&B acts, and we talked a little bit about this. It's lazy to only talk about Michael Jackson and Prince because there's so many dope artists that came out of this decade that had really good music. So no disrespect to MJ and Prince. In fact, MJ, I actually had a song that in my list of songs that missed the cuts that are by him, but it ain't a well-known song to some. It's an album set. But I want to talk about this comment before we move into our top 5. Chancey said, "Child, Tank probably happy." We're not gonna talk about Tank. That joker.
That's my motherfucking girl. Sorry,
Mr. 2.5 good songs.
Let's not get it. I'm gonna get on Tank because first of all, Tank, you know better. You are of the age where you saw what Michael Jackson did and the impact he had. We're talking global phenomenon. We're not talking just an R&B artist. We are talking popular artists, worldwide phenomenon, had folks screaming and passing out in shows, whose music videos went live on network television, who sold how many physical copies of Thriller?
Over 100 million.
Yes. Not streaming. Went in the store and bought one.
To the point where Michael was so popular, he had to escape out of a roof hatch when they were doing a record store signing because there were too many people trying to crowd around.
Exactly.
And you want to come out with that, but we just gonna have I'm just gonna tell it now. Parental advisory, explicit lyrics. So if you're young, earmuffs. But you want to come with that dumbass statement that what you said, it made absolutely positively no sense.
But the thing was, he got exactly the reaction he wanted out of it.
That's where I'm going with it.
And basically, what it is now more people are going to tune in to his podcast or be following what he's saying on social media. It was a hot take. It was a terrible hot take. It was I'm gonna leave it at that.
He's whack. Tank is whack. And I say this, Michael was able, like y'all said in the beginning, how Michael was able to help us cross over with his, into the video worlds of MTV and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, Tank never was played on MTV, so he don't understand what that meant. So he only understands being on BET, which is fine. I get it. But he never been on MTV. He don't understand. And Chris Brown has been on MTV because of Michael. Yeah. So I don't understand, Tank, that you want to be played.
Say it again. Say that part again.
Oh, Chris Brown has been on MTV because of Michael.
Thank you.
So, Tank, I understand that you wanted one man and you wanted Maybe I Deserve on MTV, but it just didn't make it. And it's okay. So it's all right. So you can go back and do your R&B change and do that with that. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Because the money is low over there. So this hot take that he did it for that. So he can have it. He can absolutely have it.
Did you say R&B change?
Yes.
Out loud. In public. Yes.
Yeah, I sure did. Because the money is low over there. So we're doing hot takes because he sounds like a freaking idiot. The tank is really low. So please.
So the thing that kills me about this take, and then we'll move into our top fives, was, and I knew we was gonna get into this. The thing that kills me about this take is Chris Brown believes the opposite of that. He understands the roots and the timeline and the lineage and where he falls on that. He's never once tried to say that he was on the same level as Michael Jackson. Ever.
Never.
He's a better songwriter. Just stop.
He know better. Like I said, he know better. He was there. He lived it. It'd be different if he was 12 years old.
Well, he's trying to act like he's 12 and he know he's 59, so stop. I could go in on this dude all day, but it's about 80s R&B. Maybe take some R&B.
Yeah. That ain't cute. That was more diabolical, which a word that I'm gonna retire after this episode. This is more diabolical than your Drake take.
He ended it. Like
yeah.
You know what? I went to the gym this morning, so I'm feeling powerful, and so that's where I'm blaming it on.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into our top fives. These songs are songs that are in no particular order. These are songs that we love from the 1980s. And I will say it is difficult to always limit our list to top fives. We could have done 10 to 15 to 20 or maybe more, or we could have divided this into multiple episodes, but we got it down to 5, as difficult as that may be. So the order is going to be Elise is going to go first, then I will go, then JR, and then QG is going to go. And we will share a brief memory or a fact about that song and discuss each song. So, Elise, your song number 1. Tell the people.
Number 1, M2 Juicy.
Yeah.
Do you know when Biggie's Juicy came out, I was big angry, and like at first I was like pissed, because do you know that this album went diamond in my household? Like,
yes.
And so I'm just like, no, that's my song. It's fine as is. I mean, to this day, that's probably my least favorite Biggie song, to be honest. But I understand, blah, 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 blah. But no, it's just so, it's a groove and it's funky and it's
it is.
And you know, this one, your mom, when it come over to your mama, she be like, oh, you know, like,
that's it.
Yes.
That's it. Listen,
so,
man, you're right.
It just represents happiness, the little, when you figure out what they talk about when you get a little older, that adds another layer to it. And it's just, it just feels good. It's
That's
eternal.
That's Q and I would talk about in our 70s episode. We talked about 70s love music, the innuendos.
Yes, the innuendo.
You had no business singing when you were a kid.
Basically, yeah. I mean, that seemed like that was a black folk anthem in 1983. Every black household had a copy of either Juicy Fruit album or the single.
Yep.
Yeah. Which now when y'all put it that way, it's so crazy because this was my mother and father's first dance at their wedding.
Let's go.
and then they got married 3 years later. They got married in 86. So it was like, I was like, wait a minute, Ma, that was your first dance? And she was like, yeah. I was like, you know what this song means. She said, yeah, but the beat is hard. So I don't.
I like your mom.
Yeah. She was like, the beat is hard. So she was like, I don't care. Like, we knew what it meant. You had the older people getting down. Like, everybody was getting down. And like you just said, this was a black anthem by then. So it was just, everybody loved it. That's nasty.
I don't blame her about that beat, man. Kamani said it. He's like, that's top tier drum machine usage on that.
It is.
That synth bass. Yeah, man.
That's James and Tilly. Rest in peace.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom loved this. She loved this song. She loved that album. This in between this song and You, Me, and He. What is it? And is that it?
Yeah.
You, me, and he. What we gonna do, baby?
Yeah.
Come on, low register. I'm sorry.
I told
Sarah,
you.
you got a red cup today?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
He absolutely does. Yep. He had it on the pre-show too. Yep.
I did.
Yep.
Respect, bro. Respect.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right, man. Like this song, I mean, everybody knows this song, or most people was introduced to this song with the sample that was used in Biggie's Juicy, same name.
Yeah.
So,
Tume got his money worth too. We know how that. Never mind.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
Toss it across the room. All right. So Elisa's number one was Juicy, 1980. Juicy Fruit, 1983. All right, I'm gonna go next. Okay, my number one, even like I said, this is no particular order. These are just 5 songs from the 80s. Is Shaka Khan's "We Got Each Other."
Yes.
1981 album. What You Gonna Do for Me? Another song with a fire instrumental. What I love about the 80s is the instrumentals would go like a minute and a half before they even start singing, man. It's like they had to get warmed up. And then once they started the song, it was a wrap. But I love this song, man. Chaka did a thing on it. Is that her brother Mark Stevens singing along with her?
Yes.
That thing on it. And it has everything I love about a song. It has the bass line, dope drum kick. It got the horns. It's a great song, man. Yeah.
I love this record.
That's me and JR record.
Yeah, right after Make That Move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
this. This is
in fact, I was playing it so loud a couple weeks ago, man. I got home from work, was listening to some music, and my wife was like, "I know you love that song, but you need to turn that down. These kids trying to see." I love this track, man.
Oh, it just feels so good too. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like when it comes, we are one. Like it's like yeah. Such a great song.
You know how people, we love us some modulations in a song. That's going back to the church.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Communion. Come on. Go ahead.
There you go.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. All right. Who's up next? Who's up next? JR.
Oh, it's me? Okay. I'm gonna go with my number one is D Train with You're the One for Me.
Ooh. Man.
That song, I love that record, man. Like anytime that plays, it just, and I love the vocal 12-inch because D Train starts it off just singing down.
Yep.
like, oh, you just hear like he's going in on this because like the radio version, they just like they start from there. But to hear him just sing it, and then it's like a drum, and then it just boom, like it's just it brings me back to my family playing this at our family parties and at the family halls that we will get, and everybody will groove to it, and it just makes me happy, and I will just go in on this joint. So yeah, you're the one for me. I love it. Like, come on, man, this joint just you can't help but to move. And then with me doing research on this joint and how Frankie Crocker played this on WBLS in New York, and once people heard it, it went like wildfire. They had to go to Top of the Pops the next week. And they said they went over there and they said one club was playing it. They walked to another club was playing it. They was like, oh, we rich. We know how that went. But I mean, you thinking everybody playing your music, you know what I'm saying? And but yo, this song is everything to me, yo. Anytime I just hear it, I'm ready to party. I'm ready to dance. Red Cup in effect. So I love this record. I
like the fact that after D-Train did the, he sang it real nice and slow. And if you didn't already know the song, you wouldn't know what was about to happen.
Exactly.
And it has the drop off where it's kind of like just silence, and then all of a sudden, the beat just hits hard.
Yes. Oh, I love that part. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah. That's how I like that song.
That's a Soul Train joint. I love seeing them dance to that on Soul Train, yo. Yeah, when they would, you would see the Soul Train dancers just going in. You know what I'm saying? I just imagine, what's that Asian lady name?
Cheryl Song.
There we go. It's she would go in. Her hair would be just flying.
I just call her Asian lady with the long hair.
Yes, man, yes.
If you watch Soul Train growing up, you know exactly who we talking about.
Listen, like, and I would just see her hair just go, and she's eating, and I'm like, all right, sister girl, all right now. I'm like, so yeah, that song's everything to me. So I love that, love it.
Yeah, that's a great song, man. It just reminds me of going to the skating rink.
As a
kid, man. Like they would play these jams right here all the time.
That's the skating rink jam.
You always had them OGs that could skate backwards.
Mm-hmm.
They got to take over the skating rink floor, man. Yeah.
With their Jerry curl juice dripping on the floor.
Yes. This is a true Jerry Curl jam right here.
Listen, curl free bottle is done. Like
activator everywhere. Just
listen.
Yeah. That's why I make sure you don't hit none of them skate ties on that activated juice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. All right, Q. Give us your number one, man.
All right, my number one, and again, this is in no particular order. Basically, this group hails from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They gave us a lot of funk and R&B jams from the late 70s to the mid 1980s. And it's a shame that they were not able to continue much longer after that. But anyway, they gave us this classic from 1982, Total Experience Records, entitled Outstanding, and they are the Greenwood Archer Pine Gap Band.
Woo-hoo! Cookout,
yes.
Cookout music,
yeah.
funk, family get together. I mean, Outstanding is the song. It has all the elements of the 80s, synthesizers, horns. It's got Charlie on the vocals. It's a combination of everything that you want. And what a lot of people may or may not know is that Greenwood Archer Pine represents the streets that comprise Tulsa, Oklahoma's Black Wall Street. Now, we're not going to get into the history lesson of what happened to Black Wall Street, but that's why they chose the name Gap Band to pay homage to it. And also, their other funk jam of the 80s, one of the other funk jams, You Dropped a Bomb on Me, harkens back to the Tulsa massacre that occurred.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You always give us the history, man. I love it.
Love it.
I'll learn it.
Yeah. Isn't there a version that goes a lot longer than the one that they play typically on the radio? The 12.
So there's actually two versions of it. The one that the non-radio version, they made it into it was a 12-inch single.
Mm-hmm.
that goes way, way longer. And the beat, and they switched the beat on it too. Because the original version, they just have the vocals that come in and it says outstanding, and it's got the background vocals and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas the 12-inch version has the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, start off with the bongos. Yeah.
And like you said earlier, it takes a minute before you hear Charlie's vocals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tank, is that an easy song to do? Oh, sorry.
What?
I said I was asking if Tank, if this is an easy song to sing too, because he said "The Lady in My Life" is an easy song to sing.
No.
Tank gonna get all the fever today.
Oh, he getting all hit. I'm sorry. I'm hitting him. I'm bullets all day. I'm sorry.
Man, I remember the first time I heard Outstanding, I was sitting in the back seat. My father had a 75 Caprice Classic. And just sitting in the back seat, just rocking. Little me,
Wow.
Yeah, man. Was this the era of the Gap Band when they used to wear like the cowboy suits?
Yeah.
Hanging from it? Yeah, man. That's I remember this. I remember these videos vividly.
Yep. They used to have the sequin cowboy joints, with the hats and everything, the boots, all that. And so
The cowboy boots and all.
They had some nasty fits, yo.
They really did, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great songs. And what I used to love about the Gap Band was their attempt at dancing in their videos. They had that little step. See, Elisa's face.
They always had their arms up.
Yeah. Every song they were like this.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the first songs. Elise, you're on deck. Number 2, what you got?
Well, some fellas named Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike Nim.
Yep.
And You Stand the Rain.
Ooh.
Storms may come. This we know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know all the things won't be perfect.
Can you stand it? Can you stand the rain?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do that. No pressure. No pressure from me, baby.
Let's get it.
That's when they had fully matured from Candy Girl to, Can You Stand the Rain?
And thank God for Johnny.
What?
Yeah.
Thank God for Johnny, because them guys we wouldn't have been able to have this record.
You're right.
Johnny.
You're right.
No. You needed him. You needed whoa. That song ain't that without whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nope.
Not at all.
He starts that song off perfectly.
Right. Like, yes, with the deep
perfect thing.
Right.
Yep. And then Ralph coming in with that smoothness. That was perfect, man. Yeah.
Right. But sadly, Ralph wouldn't be able to carry the group by himself.
No. Uh-oh. Look. They are took the water.
I mean,
so listen. So it's funny that we're talking about Johnny Gill's introduction to New Edition on this album and how it changed the sound, and the group grew as a result of him being added to the group. Like Kamani and I talked about this. We were DMing back and forth because I told him, I'm probably one of the few people who prefer the Temps with Dennis Edwards. I just like his voice. And Kamani even said it here in the chat. He compared Johnny Gill's addition to New Edition, to Dennis Edwards being added to the Temptations post David Ruffin.
No, Kamani, I don't agree.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I don't know.
He's absolutely right. Listen, Dennis came in and gave that growl that David didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, David still had the earth, but Dennis came in with some growl that was just like, woo. Like,
I don't know. Because David, he was singing from the pit.
That's true.
So to me, it's a toss up between
Toss
the two.
up. You can't go wrong either way, man.
Right.
But I definitely get what Kamani's talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This song, man, they still play this, even though the Quiet Storm is don't really come on like that. But this was a staple on the Quiet Storm, man. I remember listening to this probably every night on the radio in high school. Every single day.
Every day of my black ass life, that was on the Quiet Storm. I listened to the Quiet Storm religiously until it won't no Quiet Storm no more.
Yeah, basically.
And I mean,
every night.
Quiet Storm type music on Sirius XM's Heart and Soul channel.
Yeah,
like, late in the evening when Michelle Wright, I think, is the DJ. She plays, that, and I've heard it still to this day.
Well, now the Quiet Storm back because they got a Keith Sweat one and a Rob Tresvant got a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody else too, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, the local, I know on one of our radio stations here, I hate they call like old school music adult contemporary. It is what it is. Like the adult contemporary station in my city, they have the Quiet Storm, but the Quiet Storm, it don't even be dark when it come on. It come on at like 7 o'clock.
Same thing here with WHUR.
Since we're 40, some of us are 40 and above. We're going to bed at 9:30, so we might as well play the Quiet Storm.
Y'all speak for yourselves. Speak for yourselves.
Exactly. Speak for yourself. Exactly.
I wish I could get to bed at 9:30. So
what are you talking about, man? I wish.
Yeah.
I've been going to work at
the radio station here, WHUR. They have a Quiet Storm format, and that's actually the station that started the whole format. But like you said, it come on at 7. Well, actually now it comes on at 8 o'clock. But it's like the sun's still out.
I put this song like there are certain songs that speak to me, and I say, man, these songs are just perfect and just perfectly done and well made. This is one of those.
Oh yeah.
Jam and Lewis were perfect for them.
Mm-hmm.
They were perfect for them. Yeah.
They were their Gamble and Huff for the Jacksons.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh, excellent comparison, man.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent comparison. All right, I'm going next. My number 2, George Benson, Give Me the Night. Love that song, man. And the video's dope too, man. You're talking about OG skating backwards. He's skating backwards while playing the guitar in the video.
Yeah. Sure is.
And this is Quincy Jones and Rod Temperton at their best. And they were on a winning streak at this point because 79, you got Off the Wall, you got Master Jam, you got Give Me the Night, then you got Thriller, like all back to back to back to back. So you're talking about just hits after hit after hit. This song, I love this song. In fact, when my youngest son was an infant, when he would get all fussy, this was the only song. I used to always have music playing. This is the only song that would make him be quiet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Two-step classic, man. That's a two-step classic right there.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, when I shared this with Q, he was like, "Oh man, that's a great one to add to the list." But I love this song.
Yeah, me too.
And reading Rob Temperton's, his autobiography that I read, and he was saying like when they cut this record, and right after they were finished with it, they took it to the clubs.
Yeah.
And then they put it on, and he was like, "Yo, the club they played it like 8-9 times that night."
Yeah.
And Quincy was like, "Yeah, we haven't hit, folks." He was like, "We got to hit. Okay, this is gonna be it." Because George Benson was he really didn't want to work with them, to be honest with you, because he's a jazz guy.
Yeah, he's a jazz dude.
And you know how the jazz, they ain't with this. You know what I'm saying? Because Patrice went through this. You know what I'm saying? As far as going over to the other side and crossing over. She went through that, and it was like George Benson was like, "I don't want to work with this. I'm not trying to get that commercial joint." But when he heard this joint, Rob Temperton said in his autobiography, he was like, "Okay, I like this." You know what I'm saying? And then once it was a hit, come on, you can't deny this song. Like you said, it's so dope. You know what I mean? So
I love that part of the song where it gets quiet And you hear them like kind of humming in the background.
Yeah.
Heat builds back up. Love it.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, I like how the way in which he used background singing as another instrument.
Yes.
Because they're going, it's like giving like a flute crossed with a clarinet. You know, I mean, it's just, yeah.
Yep. Patty Austin singing background on this? I think so.
Huh?
Patty Austin singing background on this.
She is.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah, great song, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, George Benson's that guy.
Yes,
he was
is.
on one of the most recent episodes of Questlove Supreme, and he talked about how his first vocal performance wasn't until this Masquerade because they didn't think he could sing. And then the rest is history. But that whole album is good. The whole album, Give Me the Night album is good.
Yeah.
Love to love and come on, show off.
Yeah, show it. I know you got it.
Yeah, she'll show off.
Yep.
I bought it.
Yep.
Mine. I made this money. You didn't, right, Tina? He gets on my nerves, man.
All right, JR, you up, man?
All right. My next one is going to be "Slow Down" from Loose Ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Listen, a hit. You know, as a kid, I just remember my uncle he loved Loose Ends. He loved Loose Ends. And I just remember him just playing "Slow Down." You know what I mean? And he played it over and over on cassette where you actually had to rewind it, folks. It was I just remember him always rewinding it. And then y'all know me, I'm a horn lover for real. Yep. So y'all know with the breakdown, like that joint is just everything to me, man. So I love this joint when I think of just 80s. So when you told me, yo, pick your 5, that was the first song that I thought about, but I was like, wait a minute, that's why I did D-Train first. And then I was like, no, Loose Ends got to come in second. It's just a big part of my childhood. So I just remember this being played a lot. So, and then we talked about this on our episode with Grap Lover, and he came and talked about Jagora, and we went through that whole album, man, and it was great. And he actually said "Slow Down" as much as we love it. He was like, it was his least favorite on the album, to be honest. Really? Yes. He was like, it was his least favorite. And he told them that because he got to meet them, and he told the story of how he met them and all that. And they was like, but you love the album, right? And he was like, yeah, I love the album. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, the song is not bad, but he was like, it was his least favorite when we talked about it. But this song for me, I went up on the episode. I said, Grap, it might not be for you, but it's for me. So, so for me, I love this record. So that's why when I think of 80s, Slow Down, Loose Ends for sure. And them in the video when they rocking and all that, you know what I'm saying? At the breakdown, they doing their little dance, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this joint is dope. Love it.
That song is fire, man. Yeah. I can't take the heat. Slow down.
Slow down.
And Elise had mentioned synthesizers as the one word when she thought of for the 80s. This song, they killing the synthesizers on this.
Baby. Yeah.
And, you know, Loose Ends was a part of that, what I like to call the Black Brit invasion.
Come on, I was just about to say that. Go on. Yeah, go
on. They were a part of that invasion with Billy Ocean, 5 Star. Oh shoot, I can't think of the name of the group offhand. Technically, Delegation, because they started in the 80s. But yeah, they were part of that what I call the Black British invasion. Which for the longest time I didn't even know that they were from the UK. And then as I started delving deeper,
And then and I feel like people don't speak on them because I think a lot of people just go right to soul, and they kind of miss. They kind of miss Loose Ends. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Loose Ends kind of opened that door for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were first.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I'm like, when you talk about that British, you know, UK soul, you got to talk about them for sure. So yeah,
string of albums that were like all successful, man, like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yes.
Before Soul hit.
Even the one that he did, Look How Long, the one that he did in 90. You know, because obviously the group broke up by then, but that album is still dope too. And Rap Lover came to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's a loose hands head, so he came and talked about that album too. So
don't you ever try to change me? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Q. You up next?
All right, so my second song, this group, basically they've been out for a while at this point when this song came out. And a lot of people may or may not know that it was a theme song to a very famous television show from 1980 Solar Records, Up on Soul Train, The Mighty Whispers.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people, and I got the t-shirt, Soul Train was like my show. I'll be mad if I couldn't watch it on Saturday time.
Yeah, me too, bro.
and when I discovered that I got to see it twice on Saturdays, because back home they showed it at 11 o'clock, and then WGN, when we but used to show at 1 p.m. So when I discovered I got to see it twice, I was like, oh shit, But what a lot of people may not know is that this song actually came out in 1979, and it was called Soul Train 79, and it was sung by the Water Sisters. Same lyrics, everything else. And then I guess Don decided to bring in the Whispers to do the theme song for 1980, and it was the theme song of the show from 1980 to 1982. But they put it on their 1980 album. I think it's called Imagination. So the beat's funky. It starts off funky. I got to have the saxophone solo, because every 80s song just about had a saxophone solo.
Listen.
And, they let you know. They let you know what was about to happen. They told you don't need a ticket to ride.
Yeah.
Just lay it on down the line.
When I took these songs after we all shared what our fives were, and I put them together, compiled them into that playlist, I put this thing on shuffle, and I was listening to this on the way to work, and this came on. Man, I know them folks at the traffic lights looking at me like I was crazy, dog. I literally was in the Soul Train line in my car.
I mean, Leon put his touch on it, because the original version sounds very similar, but once Leon put his touch on it, then
Leon Silver.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. If somebody named Leon, that's my guy. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Up on Soul Train, the Whispers. I mean, you gotta love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Leon Silvers, man. Oh man. That trademark bass line. You hear that throughout this entire song.
Oh yeah.
The entire
period. Oh, that bass. Oh.
Leon don't get enough love as far as like producers from the 80s, but he definitely deserves it. He definitely deserves it.
Oh, yes.
That was one of my questions. I skipped over it, but we talked about producers from this era, and most people automatically go to Jam and Lewis, LA and Babyface.
Yeah.
But they didn't really hit their mark until mid to late 80s. But Leon, he's on it, man.
Let's face it, without Leon, I mean, Babyface, LA and Babyface wouldn't have really got their start because, they were label mates.
Yep.
And according to Jam and Lewis, Leon gave them their first joint on Gladys and Them High Hopes.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, so it was like Leon doesn't, and I feel like the beginning of the 80s, like when we, how we said, I said it's a transition year. I feel like the ones that don't get their credit is Leon, Kashif, Paul Lawrence, them three. You know what I'm saying? Man. Don't get the love that they deserve. It's like, like you said, everybody goes right from, I guess we could say, just Gamble and Huff to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And I'm like, y'all missing a big gap here. Like, it's the gap of music that y'all are missing. Like, y'all can't miss Leon. Like, Leon Silvers, he came out of the 70s into the early 80s. Like, you can't do this. So, like, nah. So, yes. Leon don't get the credit he deserves at all.
This song is super funky. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Elise, you up. What's your number 3?
I think which one I want to do. Oh, Miss Stephanie Mills.
Ooh, yeah.
Something.
This song would double in my house.
Yes, something in the way you make me feel. And it makes me feel.
Yeah, Stephanie's song. She did a thing on this.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Yeah. And she access different parts of her voice for different parts. Because you get her high, you get her in between, and you get her low. Interspersed into the song, and she's singing loud in each of those registers.
Okay? She is. Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely.
She didn't struggle in any of the octaves. No struggle at all.
No struggle at all. When I hear Stephanie, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud.
Yeah, the thing that amazes me about Stephanie Mills is she's tiny, man. And that voice comes out of her like that.
Right, and you know how everybody would say that about Whitney, to be honest, or how skinny she was and how all that power. And I'm like, Stephanie, a little girl singing like this, like short and like skinny and singing like this, like, and then for her to get with Angela Winbush and them to have that magic that they have, it's just, and for this to be like a big thing with her and Kid Capri, and she said she finally got to do that for them. I think it was in Bahamas or something, and they got to sing it, and he did the break beat for it, and she was singing over it, and it was just that was a moment. She said, "I never did that," and to do that, you know what I mean? And Stephanie Mills a real one. That's what I have to say. I love her.
I love the duets. I love the duets that she has with Teddy Pendergrass.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Two Hearts, Feel the Fire. I mean, yeah. Again, I feel like I'm floating on a cloud when I hear that song.
Yes. Yeah.
They're not my preferred Feel the Fire, but it's beautiful.
Oh no, Peebo, no, don't get twisted now. Peebo was number one with Feel the Fire.
Peebo was one. The only one of one.
Wait, so you don't like the one with Stephanie by herself?
No. I said no. We just saying it's number one.
It's number one.
Oh no. Yeah. I was just asking, do y'all like Stephanie? That's what I said by herself, solo wise.
Yeah.
I can't even listen to the other ones right because I like the Peebo. But we talking about Stephanie.
Got you. Right.
I just remember my aunt being like the biggest Stephanie Mills fan. Like, she can sing. My aunt can sing, man. Like, I remember her singing along to these songs growing up as she was cleaning up the house. Or me and my sister, we'd be over there hanging out with my cousins, man. She loves Stephanie Mills. Mills. And I remember this, like I said, this is one of them songs that went double platinum in our household growing up. Yeah.
And it never crossed over, which I don't understand why. I don't understand that. I'm like, it was number one for us. How was not crossing over there? Like, I was just
I mean, the same predicament as Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Was killing it over here and what had 1-2 songs that crossed over in his career.
Epic. Yeah. Yep.
But he was winning with us.
He won with us.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Freddie was in heavy rotation in most of our households.
Yes indeed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My number 3, probably one of my favorite intros to a song, that infamous drum beat and them hi-hats. In fact, Jermaine Dupri said that the hi-hats on this song inspired his trademark sound with So So Def. That song is none other than the Times 777 9311 1982 album. What time is it? Always laugh when I see Morris on that cover because the light skin and the freckles, he looked like he could be my cousin. He looked like some of my people, man. Every time I see that album and I see Morris Day in general, I'm like, man, he a Harris, man. Gotta be. We related somewhere down the line. But that drum beat, bruh. Yeah. And like I said, it's again that long funk intro before he started singing. Man. So I'm trying to figure out, okay. I know Jelly Bean, he plays it live. He plays it when they perform it live. But is that drum beat? Because I've heard it both ways. I heard Prince played it, and I heard he programmed it. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Most of what I heard is that I think Prince programmed it, and Jelly Bean learned how to play it when they were performing live.
That sounds about right, because Prince was a little tyrant when it came down to the time. So that sounds about right.
Yeah,
he was.
It's funny, man. Like I just love this. I love this song. The lyrics are hilarious.
Yeah.
To me, yeah. He begging for that phone number, man.
So useless factoid.
Yeah, what's your phone?
So useless factoid. That number 777-9311 was actually a number on the University of South Carolina campus.
It was.
Yes, it went to the Burzar. I think it went to the Burzar's office.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and that's real. Like,
yeah, that's real.
All of our numbers started with 77. I think all of our numbers started with 777.
All the campus numbers started with 777.
Yeah, and so that one was a actual number, and I believe it went to the Burzar's office.
Yep.
So,
wow.
All that number. Just make sure you have questions about your financial aid if you were a student at University of South Carolina in the 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
It's so true, man. But yeah, Morris begging for that phone number. The innuendos. It ain't really innuendos, man.
No, he's saying it.
Yeah, he's saying it.
No, there's no veil. No. Yeah.
And just imagine if Prince didn't break them up, how big the time was about to be.
Because he was jealous. How you gonna be jealous of the band you put together?
Right.
He was threatened by his own group. Basically, the time would come out and open for him and steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Like I said, I love Prince as an artist, but he was a tyrant. I mean, he ran off Alexander O'Neal. Used to play the drums, I think, for the time.
Now, he was the lead singer.
Got mad at Jim and Lewis for working with the SOS band. Ran them off. Yep. So as much as I love Prince, I'm kind of like, you probably should have kind of loosened up a little bit. Because imagine that Jam and Lewis had to produce for Prince.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's funny, man. You talk about Prince being a tyrant, like Jam and Lewis talk about. Jam talks about on the episode of Questlove Supreme. He was hard. He talked about when Janet's album hit, how Prince drove by their studio and slung the cassette out.
Yes,
because he was them about that. I'm like, dude.
And he tried to throw shade on stage.
Yeah.
Because when he said he did What Have You Done For Me Lately, he gonna say, I wonder where they got that from.
Yeah.
I was like, Prince, you are woof.
Yeah. I love me some Prince, but yeah, man.
I love Prince, but he was a tyrant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was.
He should have. I wish he would have kept this band together, because who knows what could have been. Because
Temperton said,
here it is.
We might not have had Janet.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Things happen when they happen. It's divine timing. Right? T and QG, y'all was supposed to meet at the appointed time that y'all met, and other things were supposed to mess up to make that possible. Same with me and JR. Same with you and your spouses. Like, it's like a divine thing. It was a reason. They didn't need each other.
Nope.
And that's why whatever energy saw fit to separate them, because they didn't need each other.
That's true.
I think we would have had a Janet, but I don't think she would have blown up as big.
No.
I mean, we would have had Janet. She was born and she was doing music, so she would have been here physically or in the world of music. But I don't think we'd have got the innovation in the way they would have did with her, like any other pop girl, and it might not have hit. It might have, but it might not have.
Right.
Considering that her first album didn't do so hot, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
it was a good album, but
yes, that's why I'm like. And Janet acts like it's only no.
Janet acts like the first two albums don't exist.
Yeah, everything lined up like it was supposed to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree with that. Elisa, thank you for always recentering us.
Yes, y'all see why it's needed for the R&B Reps, because I don't go all the way there.
Which is crazy.
I'm about to go off on Prince.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what, gentlemen?
Let's just reel this in.
Let's reel this in. That's not, things were meant to be the way they were supposed to be. Thank you.
But the crazy part of it is I'm the most ratchet person on this show currently. So that's funny. And you know what? I'm all right with that.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. You gotta have balance. You gotta have balance.
Look,
Right. Yeah. You gotta have balance. All right, JR, give us your number 3, man.
Well, speaking of Jam and Lewis, I'm gonna go there. Fate, Alexander O'Neal.
I almost chose that on mine. Anybody who ever met me for 2 seconds know that it's like one of my favorite songs in the world.
Love this record. It just makes, I just like singing along to it.
Yep.
It's just a dope record. And I just like the position that Alexander O'Neal was put in, because I think after Janet's Control blew up, now everybody was looking to see what Jam and Lewis was going to do next.
Yeah.
And when they threw out Hearsay, it blew up for him. So I know that had to be a good feeling for him, because I mean, the debut he did, it had, you know what I'm saying, it did what it did for us, but this album was the crossover for him. And Fake is just a record. I love it when he performed it on Soul Train, on the Soul Train Music Awards, and he killed it. And everybody is behind him and everybody's showing love. It's just a great, great song. You know what I mean? And Jam and Lewis they used it again. Why, Elise? Why did they use the song, this production again? Why?
The Sleigh Ride is Fate with a Jingle Bell.
That's all it is. All it is. It's the
In fact, that whole album, except for the slow songs, is Fake with a Jingle Bell.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm all right with that, because I don't really like Christmas music, so that works. So all I did was get another Alexander O'Neal album. Lucky me.
She
give you at least give you a good, and then she be like, because I love Christmas music and she just don't. So when she be like, yeah, this wasn't nothing but an Alexander O'Neal album for me with just Jingle Bells with it, I'm like, really?
It really is. Yeah.
It's sure a fake jingle, jingle, jingle.
That is so true. You can take Fake and switch the lyrics and put Sleigh Ride on it, and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, true. True. It's very true. And I just like the fact that, and this is his biggest hit for real. His biggest hit on R&B and pop. So it was a good hit for him, and I'm just happy that this album did what it was supposed to for Alex, and he can look back at Prince and be like, ha ha, nigga. But you know what I'm saying?
And JR,
yes.
Tell the story about what Jimmy Jam gave us a long dissertation about on our Instagram.
Yes, thank you. So we did this episode with Mark Chappelle, and we did Hearsay. So when we got to Fake, we was like, okay, yeah, this was Terry Lewis playing, because he says, I gotta hear that nasty bass. So we thought, okay, it was, we thought it was Terry Lewis. Jimmy Jam was like, he got in our comments, because mind you, y'all been on the show, we going through each song. This song ain't the first song on the album. So he clearly had to watch. And he gave us a long dissertation. Yeah, you, Mr. Jammy. Yes, you. And he sat up there and was like, no, that is actually me on the drums machine.
Yeah, he said it was the synth bass.
It was the synth bass, and it was me.
Yeah.
He was like, but I love this episode, but I just had to get y'all together.
Yeah.
I was like,
and he's like, y'all got everything right, except you have to find that and post it on our
yes, and I was like, I ain't even mad at it. And me and Elise put it right up as we pinned it on it, like, okay, he gathered us, but it was Jimmy Jam. Who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the fact that he even was watching the show,
right,
and then gave y'all dissertation. That's like mind blowing. Like, wow,
like he was just sitting there watching it, because again, y'all know we going through each song, and Fake ain't the first record, so it's like you sat there and watched this whole show and said, y'all got everything right, but this,
right.
And the only thing me and Elise did was responded was like, oh my God, thank you for watching the show. Like,
that's all you can say. That's all you can say.
Yeah. So yeah. But I love this record. Like anytime it come on, I was on my way to work one morning and it was the summer and it was like maybe 6:30 in the morning. And I was at the light and when that joint, I'm going crazy in the car. I got them white people looking like they were so scared. I was like, look.
I mean, sometimes you scare me. So, I mean, to be fair,
okay, ma'am. This is my story. Thank you.
You know, I don't respect that.
Listen, I told y'all. Shut up.
But yeah, I scared them because the lady was looking. She was an older white lady, and she was just looking on the side like her eyes were so big, and my windows was down, and it was a Friday, so it was that, and I just and I scared the poor white lady, and I just looked at her, and I just smiled, and I just waved, and then I drove on. So yeah.
Hey, it bees like that sometimes.
Yeah, yes,
it do.
But yeah, I'm glad y'all talked about Hearsay because we talked about 80s best R&B, some of the best R&B albums of the 80s. Nobody ever mentions this album. They talk about the Whitney, Prince, Janet, Michael. Y'all, that's part of the reason why I didn't want to put a Michael or Prince song in my top 5 because of that. Like there was so much, albums out there, man. And this right here is one of them. Okay, those of you who are not of a certain age, okay, if you want to get into 80s R&B music, please give this album a listen. It's dope.
Yeah,
yes, it is. Yeah. Yes.
All right, Q, you up, my friend?
All right, my number 3 is song by a guy that hails from San Francisco, California. He owned his own club. He also started singing in different clubs around town, but finally got put on in the early 1980s. So the song I picked is from 1982, Boardwalk Entertainment, called Mr. Looks So Good by one and only the late, great Richard Dimples Fields.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people don't know about Richard Dimples Fields. Like, you never really hear anything mentioned about him. But, I mean, his album, the Dimples album, was actually solid. And as a matter of fact, he had a hit song called If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another, that he wrote when he was in high school, but finally put it on wax in the early 80s. Well, Mr. Looks So Good is the B-side to that song. And I always used to listen to the B-side of the songs. And, you know, it's a song of affirmation.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's got all the elements of an 80s song, in my opinion.
Yes.
It is very 80s.
Very 80s.
Very.
And what a lot of people may not know is the label that he signed to was started by Neil Bogart, who was the president of Casablanca Records at one time, which was the purveyor of disco.
Mm-hmm.
But he got fired because he spent too much money. So he started his own label. But unfortunately, as the label was starting to rise, he passed away.
Yeah.
And in fact, that a lot of their artists just kind of washed out. But this one, yes, this is one of my favorite 80s songs. I play it all the time.
So I ain't gonna even lie. Like I said, one thing I never do is on this platform, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, oh, I know every song or I've heard every song. This is one that it was new.
Please say that again.
I'm not gonna sit on this platform and lie and say that I know about every song and every artist from every particular era and every particular genre. All right.
You podcast, did you just hear what he said?
No.
So
they out of the least.
You're right, sis. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead. My bad, bro.
Nah, you good. Like, so this was you have introduced me to the songs. I never knew who Richard Dimples Fields was. I didn't know this song, but I listened to it. It's dope. I appreciate you adding it. And the one thing I always appreciate about you, Q, is you don't always just give us what's mainstream. You really delve into the genre and give us the songs that you like and that touch you. And that's one thing I always appreciate about the R&B reps too. Y'all ain't just talking about what's mainstream or what was on the Billboard. You gonna give us that real. So again, this was my introduction to the song. So the first time I listened to the song was the first when you told me that it was on your list. So again, I have no shame admitting that I don't know everything when it comes to certain genres of music or a certain era. That's okay.
Yep, and he also worked with the late great Miss Betty Wright. I see somebody in the comments mention she got them papers. She got papers on me. Well,
that's how I know him.
That's right, and that's how I knew him. Yeah,
That's why I know him.
That was a hot song. I mean, he was singing along. She got babies, and then here come Betty. Well.
That song is crazy. That's a wild song.
That's a wild song. Yeah, I never would have expected him to have Betty on there, but yeah.
Yo, look, check this one out. Jason said Dimples has a song called "Your Wife Is Cheating on Us."
I know that one too.
Yo. Oh man. Your wife is not you, both of us.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Dimples was very Liquor House Music adjacent. Or that, actually. That.
That's definitely Liquor House music for sure.
Yeah.
Which I like. I got some Liquor House records, like for real Liquor House records over here.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like Marvin Seed and shit.
Marvin Seed, come on, girl.
I mean, look, ain't but one Marvin Seed song. Well,
right.
Actually, it's two, but I know what my favorite Marvin Seed song is.
What? Candy Liquor.
Candy Liquor.
Gotta be.
A song I had no business singing at the age of 8, but that's a whole other story.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, look, Jason dropping these gems about Richard Dimple Fields. Look, he talked another song that he said B-side him, Dog or Hog.
What?
This is definitely Liquor House music.
Oh my God.
This is the epitome of Liquor House music from the 80s.
I got people deep in the woods. So I know a couple things.
Yeah. I'm saying, yeah. Yeah, these are songs that used to be being played like when the adults had your family had company over and they'd send the kids outside to play. To the back room to watch TV. Like you couldn't be up there while they was playing cards and talking trash and God knows what else and whatever else. So, but yeah.
And see, unfortunately, that's when I would get my behind whooped because I wouldn't listen.
Yeah, it used to be nosy.
Yeah. I was very.
When I was a kid, I was very, very quiet. So I got to infiltrate a lot of adult spaces because I stayed out the way. You got to stay out the way.
That's true.
You know, Jay, I won't stay out of nobody's way.
No, I was not. Being the only child.
When I met JR, I said, Jay, I bet you was bad. He said, yup.
It was this. It was my mouth. And that's what my mother was like.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
And I'm like, well, where you think I got it from? And I look at her like, where do you think I got it from? Like, but yeah, they would be like, when they would play this, my grandparents would play Little Milton and all of this and Marvin Sease and all of that. Then my they'd be like, go in the room, you know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. And I would leave the door cracked and be out there like, what they talking about? Not knowing what the hell they saying, but I'm like, ooh.
Look, at least pulled out the Marvin Cease on wax.
He is such a
I just wanted y'all to know that it wasn't hyperbole. That's all.
Talk about Jerry Curl soul.
That curl is moist.
Yeah, that curl. Yeah,
it is lustrous.
Yeah, that's lustrous. Listen,
but it looks soft and not shiny at the same time. It's very confusing. It's a perplexing curl
on that cover. Like you can't tell him nothing.
No,
at all.
Whenever they hit this pose right here,
it's over. It's over.
I can't wait because my next one was hitting that pose just like that. Couldn't tell him nothing.
All right, Elise, give us your number 4.
All right. Number 5. Sade, the album and the title track, Stronger Than Pride.
Yeah. Another
and
one.
And I wouldn't have to pick it because there's a lot of Sade kind of directions I wanted to go. But I was like, no, I'm just gonna go with my straight up faves, like from her and it's Stronger Than Pride. And it's made my second favorite of her albums. So,
great song. Like the instrumental is just so mellow. It's just such a mellow song, yet it's so powerful. I really like. I like this. This is an excellent choice, Elise.
Yeah, and One of the things, and I think we talked about a Sade episode that hadn't come out yet, but is she has a way of, it's just her phrasing. And so it sounds melodic, but if you like really listen to it, it's not really a melody. It's just her phrasing is just very interesting, and it changes throughout the song, and it just really sets her apart from. This doesn't sound like anything. Sade's catalog doesn't sound like anything that was out in the whole 80s.
No,
nothing.
It's very unique.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely had her own sound.
Yeah. Like it's no time, because when I think about it, I was like, dang, that came out in 80 whatever. I'm like, it don't sound like, no, it doesn't have a time. It's like she's just an alien with no space or time, just floating through the world, through the cosmos.
You know, just so smooth with the vocals and all, and the music comes together. Yeah.
Yes.
And here she is, 65 years old, and still look just like she looked on that album cover you got behind you.
Yep, she sure does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
But yeah, this is another artist that my wife introduced me to Sade. So she loved Sade's music. She had the greatest hit, the best of Sade CD when we first started dating. We have the album now. We have the actual vinyl now, but yeah. And that's why I remember when I first started collecting records. This was one of my first target artists. Like, I gotta add Sade to my list because I want to hear what it sounds like on vinyl versus CD. And it don't disappoint.
Unfortunately, I wasn't the biggest. I thought I wasn't the biggest Sade fan, and because my family didn't play Sade, they were not fans of her like that. So I really didn't. So when Elise started, she's a big Sade fan, and I just remember I was like, "Sis, I'm not the biggest fan of Sade," and she was like, "Nah." So she was like, "Well, what songs do you know?" And she just started playing these songs. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that one." Oh, I was like, "I know that one." How many songs did you get to, Elise?
A smooth fitting-ish.
And she was like, "No, you're a fan."
Yeah, you're.
Like, oh.
It was just so bizarre. I was like, "Smooth Operator, yeah. Your Love Is King, yeah. No Ordinary Love, yeah." I'm like, Negro. Why is you playing in my face?
Because again, I'm thinking because she know also I'm the type that if you just say you're a fan of the singles, I'm just not that. Like, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I just like the singles and that's it." So I'm not gonna call myself this big fan. But then she started singing these other songs like Maureen and all of this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that." She was like, "Shut up, you're a fan." Next.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. I won't go let that one fly. I just don't care about who people are a fan of, but I care in this state because that's my partner. I need to be able to trust him, and I can't trust him talking about he ain't no Sade fan. That's weird. That's against my principles. I do have those.
I love it. Yeah, so I'm gonna add a comment here from Topeka Simpson. She said, "My cousin introduced me to her in Sade during her first album, and I had to eventually grow to love it. Love Is Stronger Than Pride became my favorite." Yeah, I mean, like I said, like she had her own lane. Her sound was unique. It didn't sound anything like her contemporaries at the time. So of course, like if it don't sound like what's being played on the radio or what you see in the music videos, then it's something that you eventually grow into liking. But like I say, she paved her own way, and I think it's dope.
I just had a eureka moment, and you didn't hear nothing that sounded on the radio like that again until certain people started working with her same people.
It's Maxwell.
Yep.
And then Maxwell and they'll come along and like, oh.
I like this. You already liked it, you just didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. Yeah, maybe my wife even jumped to comment. Yeah, my parents never played her at home, but I found her music and didn't look back. It's just chill music. Yep.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of Sade at home either. But like you said, once you get that vibe,
Yeah.
it's good stuff, man.
Well, Sade was rammed into my psyche because my mother had that aforementioned greatest hits, and that aforementioned greatest hits got played on loop in the car on long road trips, on rides to school, to the grocery store, in the house, on the porch.
Yeah.
Like it was a period of time where I just couldn't. But then I came back. It wasn't a long time, but I was like, I needed a respite.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how that like you don't think you like something, you be exposed to it so much, and then it finally just gets stuck in your head and becomes a part of yourself. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Friday is definitely an example of that. All right. My number 4 is another. Obviously, there's a thing. Me and JR, we like Jam and Lewis, because this is my second one on the list. That's a Jam and Lewis song. This is from Janet's third album, because most of us including her, that her first 2 albums did not exist.
I mean, okay.
This is from her album Control,
1986,
and the song I chose is The Pleasure Principle. I love that instrumental. I could just listen to the instrumental.
I'm hearing it right now in my head.
Man, yeah, I love that instrumental. This is the only song on the album that was not produced or written by Jam and Lewis.
Yep.
Monty Moore, who was the keyboardist of the time, actually wrote and produced this song.
And he produced on Dream Street. So they brought him back, John McClane brought him back, and they actually made her do this. Because she didn't really, they was just like, you got to do this record. So it was forced upon her. I'm like, well, thank you, Jesus, because we got the video. So,
and that's my favorite. That's my favorite Janet song of her whole catalog.
Me too. Same here. Like, I went crazy when my wife and I went and saw her in concert and she performed this. I was like, yes, that's the one I've been waiting on. But funny story about this, I remember seeing this video. I was probably about 7 or so, and seeing the video, watching music videos with my aunt, who's not that much older than me. And I remember watching this video and instantly saying, that's my girlfriend. I'm 7 years old. So to finally see Janet in concert at my at an advanced age, it was like, oh man, she's still as awesome as she was the first time I saw her in this music video when I was.
Oh.
But this funny story, and also Control was the first ever cassette that I owned. My mom bought it for me for my birthday. First ever cassette, first ever boombox. So Control is very special to me, but I love this song. I love the video. I love the instrumental. I mean, he kills it on this production. Shout out to Monty Moore.
I'm so happy I didn't have to mention her first. Thank you for having on your list, T. I appreciate it, because I was like, oh God.
What were you thinking I was gonna say?
I know, because I was just like,
he won't worry about y'all. He was worried about what I was gonna say to
her. I was worried about her because she, if y'all watch every one of our videos, I'm able to bring Mary or Janet into the combo.
Yeah.
So if she brings in Janet first, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I don't have to say it because she said it.
But sometimes when you say it, sometimes it do fit, and sometimes it be real peripheral around fitting.
No, man.
And that's when I give you fever.
Oh, that's cute. Oh,
so, somebody identified this earlier, at least, but I see you rocking the Janet.
Yeah, she got the Janet earring.
Got the Janet earring going on. Somebody pointed it out earlier. Yeah.
I thought of it at the last second. I said, oh, I can put a key on my earring. Janet.
Yeah. When I was like looking up information about this song, like of all the singles that were that she released from this album, this one didn't go number 1, and
that's crazy.
It was a number 1 dance hit, but like Billboard R&B or Billboard Top 200, it was on one of the only singles she dropped from this album that did not go number 1, which is crazy. The song is dope.
I think probably by that time, everybody done had the album. This was like the 6th single. So everybody was like, what more you gonna give us? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's
so
it.
it's like, all right, enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the video, Jesus Christ.
Video was perfect. It was simple, but it worked.
Yep.
Simple, but it worked.
Simple, dog. Like,
I wouldn't trust your looks, baby, if I could.
Yeah.
Oh, the body roll. Oh man.
one of these body roll. I was waiting for it.
You got it.
Yeah, you can't do no 80s song, 80s R&B song without hitting the body roll at least a couple times.
You can do a slow body roll.
At least once.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you rocking some full force or something, you can do a fast one. It's a very utilitarian dance.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It's the dance of our people.
Yeah.
Yes.
People that are watching the Saturday Sit Down, you wouldn't be introduced to new vocabulary besides demure and mind.
Oh boy.
Go listen to a Mariah Carey song. Get some vocab. Something.
Absolutely.
Listen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So say that word again.
Utilitarian.
Yes. So
Yes. Or for the like useful in many different ways.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yeah, there's some educated folks on this show. All right. JR, give us your number 4, man.
Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna use useful. Wait for Love by Luther Vandross.
Oh yeah.
That is again with jams. Everybody was just like, you know, when you give your top 5, you give jams that you want to dance to. I was like, nah, because all of mine not gonna be up tempos because I miss the Quiet Storm helped a lot of our artists back then in the 80s. It helped a lot of us go and have careers, you know what I mean? For Luther and Freddie and Anita and all of them, it really helped. And I think that's what we're missing, you know what I mean? We're missing that. But this song is actually my favorite Luther song, period. This song is definitely his influence with Aretha, definitely with the ad-libs that he does. And then this is just background royalty. You got Sissy on this. You got Lisa Fisher on this. You got Brenda White on this. You got Darlene Love on this. Like, this is just background royalty on this. And it's just like the one thing we talked about, because we actually talked about this song with Keith Burrows. He came on and talked about this record. And what we said was Luther loved to let his background shine just like him.
He did.
On these songs. You know what I'm saying? It was like Luther is like, I'm that dude with Jerry Curl. And speaking of Jerry Curl, y'all see in the back how Luther is sitting? Y'all see how he's sitting? He is sitting. You can tell he had just got that done for this photo shoot. He just got that. If we go back and get those pictures, you can probably see the drip just before the picture was taken. Like, that's how, because before then, if you look at all the album covers before this, Luther's curl wasn't curling quite right yet. You look at it, you know, never too much. He had, you know, just the regular, afro-ish.
Yeah.
Then he went to not Busybody. It's what is it, Elise? Dang, we talk about with the key.
Always for Love. Is that
yes,
Always for Love?
Yes. He was starting. It was like, okay, we're starting it. And then he got to Busybody, and it was like, we need a little bit more time. And that's why when he got to The Night I Fall in Love, you could tell Luther was like, I'm that nigga and my curls is right. So what's up?
See, Luther probably he started out with classy curl, and then he tried World of Curls, and it didn't work.
Not cute.
Then he said, I need something top.
And you see, Luther was showing off too, because Luther was like, you know, because after Never Too Much, then he gained his weight for that, and then for Busybody. And he got to The Night I Fell in Love, he got skinny again. And all that, and Luther was like, I'm gonna go off in all that sequence and all of it. Y'all gonna get all of this. And what he did for Wait for Love on this album is just dope, and I just love
Luther
it.
had
It's
his
just
money
so
up. Luther was paid.
Yeah,
You know, by that point. So that's why he hit that pose like that. Like, yeah.
You feel me? Like, yes.
I got 80s money now. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then I just worked with some of my faves. You know what I'm saying? Dion and Aretha and all them, and all that money was coming in. Like, he was on it. But yeah, this song is just everything to me. It's very airy and it's very blissful. I got to use it at least.
It is a nice point.
I'm like you, T. I might have to retire that. Because after I use Blissful, I use it for about 7 episodes straight. So, so now after this, y'all, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire Blissful. I'm done with it, at least. I promise you. That's it. I'm not gonna use it no more. But this song is very airy. It's very blissful. It's very something takes over you with this record, and for me, I just love it, and that's why it's a favorite of mine when it talks about 80s R&B for real.
Yeah, it really is a good song. Definitely in my top like 4 or 5 Luther Vandross songs.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Great song. Excellent choice there, JR.
Yeah.
Q, number 4.
So for my number 4 song, all I got to say is Jam. Oh, Jam. Jam. Teddy Jam for me. Oh, yeah. That's right. Teddy Jam by Guy.
Yeah.
Jam.
So, embarrassing story time. When I was a kid, because I had to be that kid, and we would be in the grocery store, and we walking down the aisle. You know, back then they had the peanut butter, the jelly, and the jam. So I had to be that kid that every time I saw a jar of jam, I had to sing this out, and I would get in trouble. Like, what is wrong with you?
I do shit like that to this day.
I mean, shit. I had that. Look, that was the only look. We weren't eating jam back then anyway. We were eating Bama jelly. So
come on,
so jar of jam. I mean, you know.
Yeah. If you ever need to do
jam.
But if you ever need to do a vibe check of a room, just stand up and go jam.
Yep.
And you hear old jam, you find your people.
Those are your people.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it. If they don't repeat that, you need to go to
everything.
A different group of friends.
Teddy Jam is like the opening portal almost of New Jack Swing, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing about it is, it's simple. You know, it's simple because there's not a lot of lyrics. I mean, you just got Aaron Hall doing this ad lib, you know, you know, and him hollering for Teddy to jam for him.
That's it. Teddy jam for me.
You know,
jam for me.
You know,
y'all know Aaron probably don't even remember this song. I'm sorry.
Oops.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that was that was the world's introduction, in my opinion, to Teddy Riley, like outside of producer for Bobby. That was his like, okay, now I'm about to show you what I can do for my own group.
Yep.
And it's a universal black anthem, I think, in 1987.
Yeah, and the thing about this,
1988 when the song came out. So
yeah, what's crazy, man, is like you go and look at all the production credits for this, and Gene Griffin name up on every song, and then produce or write a thing.
Nope.
Go watch our guy episode with Dar Adams. We go in depth about that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So Teddy, it's crazy because Teddy ain't started making money until he did Dangerous.
Yep.
And that's why I said, you know, I'm probably going to be mean for this, but I hope Gene is rotting.
Yeah, he did them boys dirty.
Man. He did them dirty. Like, that was straight dirty the way he did them. How is Teddy Riley, the guy that created this genre that we love, didn't start making money until damn near the genre was damn near over?
Exactly.
That's crazy, especially because at that point, by the time he did Teddy Jam, he had already produced for Keith Sweat, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, it's somebody else. Bobby.
Bobby.
That's a monster right there.
Did the show.
And just got paid. With Johnny
Yeah.
Kemp?
Johnny Kemp, yeah.
Yep, he did
Sure
the
did.
show
Yep, sure did.
for yeah, like he did so much stuff. And you gonna
MCA was
tell
in
me
cahoots.
after 91 you get money?
Yeah.
MCA was in cahoots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm already on them already. In our episode, we
MCA
did
was in
about
cahoots.
Bobby.
I'm convinced now. I'm convinced now. MCA was in cahoots with all these different groups that they basically took their money.
I agree.
Yep. He was and Teddy happened to be victim of that.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Now that I didn't know. I didn't know that he didn't make any money until he did the Dangerous album, even though he already had all those hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
One thing, Michael, and that's what another thing, Hot Tank, another thing that Michael did was the fact that he made sure people got paid what they were worth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he was like, Teddy was like, I could not believe that Michael, even in his contract, was like, before the album went out, did Teddy get his money? Because if he didn't, this ain't going out yet. Like, he blocked everything to make sure Teddy got his money. And that is respect right there. You know what I mean? I guess Chris did that for Tank, so that's why he's going so hard for him. So you know how that go.
This song is, like you said, Q. All this instrumental, ad libs.
That's it.
Nothing
complicated. All Teddy had to do was just program, you know what I'm saying, his synthesizer keyboard. You know what I'm saying? He probably was working with a Roland or a Casio. Well, not Casio, but probably a Roland or something like that. And just hit the button.
Yeah. If y'all listen to podcasts, there's a really good. I learned more about the creation of New Jack Swing from a podcast called Jacked. It's on wherever you listen to your podcast. Taraji P. Henson narrates it, but it basically talks about the birth of New Jack Swing and how it got done wrong by Gene Griffin and how they kicked the initial member out the group. What was the gentleman's name? The original guy before they replaced him with the other brother.
Yeah,
Timothy
and Damien on the front, and Tim on the back.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah.
The pictures they couldn't even stop the presses fast enough. How slick they did this shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Gene Griffin fired him because he started questioning that contract. And he was like, yo, why your name on all this stuff? Like, you didn't write none of these songs. Like, me, Aaron, and Teddy did all this work. And when he started questioning, Gene Griffin got in Teddy and Aaron's ear and was like, hey, your boy tripping. And next thing you know, he got removed from the group before the album got released. And they was already doing promos and the video album shoot and everything.
Yeah, that's why, that's why Timothy is still on the cover.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
So that's Timothy on the back.
Yeah, Tim Gatlin.
Okay, that makes sense.
Damien on the front. Yeah,
because I looked at the album cover, but I never looked at it that closely.
Yeah.
Timmy Gatlin was the original third member of God.
But somebody tried to steal Teddy's sound because Today has a song called "Girl, I Got My Eyes on You." And it sounds like it could be produced by Teddy Riley, but I feel like somebody tried to steal his sound. I don't know who produced that song. I'm gonna have to look it up.
That's not Chucky, is it?
That wasn't Chucky Booker.
That wasn't Chucky Booker. Okay.
Which song, girl? You got
"Girl, I Got My Eyes on You" by Today.
Wow, I was thinking about that. That's why.
I know Timmy Gatlin. I think he went on and did some stuff with. He do some stuff with High Five.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but guess who's listed on one of the songwriters of that song? Wild guess.
Gene Griffin. Seriously?
What?
Okay, yeah, he produced the song, so that's why.
Yeah,
that's
so
why. Because he produced
Big Bub.
Okay, because I always wondered. I said, this sounds like it's produced by Teddy, but I knew it wasn't produced by Teddy.
Yeah. That's crazy. He on that too?
Mm-hmm.
What a thief.
I mean, copied everything. The cadence of how Teddy would play the keyboards, the beat. I mean, it sounds like a damn near copycat song or something that Teddy would have produced.
Wow.
I cannot.
Yeah, that ain't cool at all, man. That's industry rule number 4080 for sure.
Come on, Todd.
But that's so funny that Gene is listed as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Not at all.
I think not.
Not at all. Yeah, so Timmy Gatlin, I'm looking at it now. He did some work with actually he was a co-writer on Belle Biv DeVoe's When Will I See You Smile Again?
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Did some work with that. And he worked with Christopher Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie Mills. Jasmine Guy. Ralph Tresvant last night.
Oh, he did do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So he ended up getting it back, but golly, he didn't get it back. Well, he probably ended up making more money in the short term.
Right.
From the group, like Elise said, was actually a blessing in disguise. They didn't make no money off that first album. Gene Gatlin did what every record label exec did at that time. He just gave them stuff. So they thought they had money. They ain't had nothing. They didn't own anything.
Like Maurice Starr with New Edition.
Yep.
Just all like that fool in the news now.
For real.
Yep.
Yep. All right, we on our number 5. Number five. Elise, what's your number 5? This is a good one right here. I like this. It's one of my favorites too.
It's one of my favorite songs, period, all time. And that is The System's Don't Disturb This Groove.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Something.
Yep.
But you know, I ain't really ever know the lyrics to that song, like for real, until Michelle and Daggy Cello did the cover, and listening to it slowly with emphasis put on different parts of the lyrics. And I was like, oh, that's what they had said. I was like, oh. But yeah. It's just a beautiful song. When I look at their picture, I'm like, they was the foreign exchange before the foreign exchange.
I was just about to say that.
They really were. Yeah. I didn't realize who they were. Like, I knew the song as a kid, but it wasn't until I was probably in my 20s that I realized it was a black dude and a white dude.
Yep.
That was surprising to me. But yeah, it's a dope song. And aren't they playing in the video? Are they like grooving out in like a hotel room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Video makes no sense.
Yeah, the video makes no sense whatsoever.
None.
But it was the 80s.
It was
That's true.
As the kids say.
I mean, the song, now that I do know the words, is nonsensical.
It is.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sing them now. Because now I'll be like, I always knew them. I didn't.
The part that kills me on this song, he says, on a mountain by a fountain. Blooming everywhere with Venus and with Cupid.
Yeah, the lyrics it don't make sense. It's a song, but the lyrics itself is like, what?
The lyrics are like you said. It's just, like, you're my lollipop.
Sorry.
Yep. The angels fall from heaven, and the day the earth stands still.
Right.
That's some good love.
It's the production that gets you. It's the production and the time. That's what it worked.
And the chorus is super catchy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that the label did not want this as the first single.
What?
Nope.
Man.
They did not. And they fought for it. The group fought for it. Was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is the one. And the label was like, no, this is not it. And they was like, well, if it failed, then we're gonna move right along. Well, we see how that went.
But let me tell you the show enough jam by the System, and that is the song System. That is
I was thinking about that song.
Yes.
I think about that song like every day. Like I love that song too. So yeah.
Great choice right there. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did the System do a song on the Coming to America soundtrack? Did they do the?
They sure did. They did the title track.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's them. Yeah.
Coming to America. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My last joint is by none other than Kenneth Babyface Edmonds himself, from his 1989 album, The Tender Lover, an album that went platinum in my mom's Ford Tempo because we listened to the album front to back all the time, and I couldn't stand it. I didn't like this song, and I sure as heck didn't like Whip Appeal because my mama loved that song. Love it. Yep, love that song. But the older I've gotten, the more I appreciate this joint right here because it's jamming, and it opened with it's from the beginning to the end. It's
Falling off cars.
This is my jam right here, man.
This is my favorite Babyface record. So go.
Me too, bro. Me
yes.
too. Yeah.
Calling all cars.
Babyface said this is what's gonna be how he's gonna come out the box on y'all.
What you talking about? Man, he did too. I'm talking about through the box.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't he have a solo record prior to this?
Yes, it was titled Lovers.
Lovers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta show y'all the original cover. they did a redo.
I need to see the original.
I gotta get up.
Oh God.
He's up here.
Yeah, Babyface tried to single-handedly save Solar Records, but it just wasn't meant to be.
It just wasn't meant. That was the original cover.
What is that?
When we used to do lives, I used to make our flyers be recreations of us in album covers. And I did this and put JR face in it. The logo face.
He did. Wow, man. Because I really did not know that was the original Lovers cover.
Yeah,
wow.
That's
terrible.
That is absolutely awful.
Damn, Dick Griffey being cheap. Talking about let's just put some balloons on there and put you in the middle.
Basically
what he did, man. That's it.
That's why they had to have a redo with him sitting in front of the fireplace. Had to. You had to, because that looks like that's a joke. Like that's
terrible. That's terrible. That look like them pictures you used to take at the mall, like when you were a kid, like to get to your grandparents. On the little velvet rollout joint. We love grandma and grandpa. Like, come on, man.
That looked like he took that picture at a birthday party.
Look at Timogen's comment. What the
Terrible.
Yeah, that cover is awful. But yeah, man, I really dig this Babyface song. And then of course you got the Babyface trademark bridge.
Yeah.
At the end of the song. Yeah. And Babyface, let me tell you what. One thing about Babyface, he gonna add some words to some songs that are long. And you don't necessarily know what it is until you read the lyrics. It's like they don't recommend it. I don't understand it, and I've been reprimanded. Goodness gracious, boy! But that's him, though. That's Babyface. That's how that's what he do.
Yes.
Yeah. But Babyface, like he single-handedly, and especially because once LA got out of the music side and started getting into the business stuff, Babyface pretty much single-handedly crafted most of the soundtrack of our lives, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
From this point forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Once people really started to really take notice of them after what they did with Bobby, it was like, okay, now we got to pay attention to this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because before then it was like, you know what I mean? Because the album that we did with Q, we did Slow Jam, even though that got him in, but nobody really was paying no attention to him as a songwriter. They still look at him as the deal with you know what I'm saying, and them as a group, and that was it. But once he did that with Bobby and did all of those, it was like, all right, let's pay attention to this cat. And then he came out with Return of the Lover, Tender Lover. It was like a wrap. It was like, all right, out of here.
Like he's legit now, even though he already was.
Yeah, he already was.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
He was. All right, so that's my number 5. JR, you up next, man. Give us your number 5.
My number 5, I'm glad somebody talked about her before I had to. Janet, and it is The Knowledge. This song is a big deal for me. I just my mom knows that she can kind of get me to do anything through music, and it speaks to me. So I remember this is an album, the Rhythm Nation album is an album that her and my dad didn't have to argue about playing because he's a hip hop head and she's an R&B head. So it was a battle all the time, but it was always albums that they could play together. There was no issues. It was Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel, Guy's Guy, Keith Sweat, Make It Last Forever, and it was Janet's, the Rhythm Nation album. And I just remember hearing The Knowledge. And I remember just listening to this song and hearing the words at 3 years old. It touched me then. And I always say, from me hearing that song, I am a college graduate because of this record. And I think Jimmy Jam, and I told him about it. I always try to hit Janet, but she haven't responded to me yet. But Janet, come on, please respond. But yeah, this song just means everything to me. To me, she made wanting to get an education cool. And you can dance to it and you can party to it and all of that. But this song is it just means a lot in my life. And when I think of the 80s, and even though it's the end, The Knowledge is the song that I definitely go to from her, and what they did with it, and what Jimmy said. They was in a car and in London, and it was one guy talking about the knowledge, and he was like, what does that mean? And they was like, yo, we need to get back to the studio. Like, we gotta do something with this. And they did, and they gave it to Janet, and they got together and did this song. So it definitely inspired a 3-year-old me to be who I am today. So this song is everything to me. So yeah, Janet, The Knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some good comments about that. Monique Miller says, she quoted lyrics, it's nice to laugh, but don't be the joke.
Come on.
And she just said, yep, you're right, JR. Janet and A Different World were huge influences on Black kids of a certain age.
That one lyric right there, if Janet only knew just how much that means in today's world.
Yep.
Ooh-wee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 That's so true.
The blueprint.
I was waiting for it.
Come on. We weren't leaving without me saying that, but go ahead.
I know.
Basically. No Janet, no Aaliyah, no Britney Spears.
No Beyonce.
No Beyonce. No Sierra. Should I keep going? No Victoria Monet.
No.
Yep.
Beehive, no B.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about all those artists, they have said that out of their mouths.
Yes, they did.
Yep. This ain't brand new information.
Yep.
All right. Q, you ready for your number 5?
Number 5 is none other than Troop. And they said, spread my wings and fly away. You got to hit that. You got to hit that Troop 2-step.
Yes.
You got to hit that Troop 2-step whenever you hear this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homeboy. I ain't going to give his government name, but let's just say DJ Complex. He was the one. I remember I heard this song a long time ago. Of course, we all did. But he was the one that was like, because when you hear this, you only dance one way. You had to hit that Troop 2-step.
Yeah.
So, So yeah. What I didn't know is that this song was actually produced by Chucky Booker.
Yep.
Who also should be on the mountaintop of New Jack Swing producers, and he produced for a lot of people. He produced for a lot of people. Like, I didn't realize all the people. He produced for Diana Ross. He produced for In Vogue. Hell, recently he produced for Rihanna.
Yep.
He produced for a lot of people. And for him to only have 2 solo albums, I don't really know how much that speaks to him as an artist, but as a producer, yeah, he should be getting his flowers.
Yeah, this production was so nice. He used it about thrice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I feel like you about to drop some knowledge.
Wait, go for it, Elise.
Just go listen to Turned Away after we get off of here.
Okay.
Booker.
I was thinking about Turned Away and Games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So interesting factoid about Chucky Booker. Barry White is his godfather.
Yep.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And he did a song for Barry.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
That's but what cool. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, I remember seeing people, the kids that came down from New York down south, they had the Troop, suits, track suits.
Yes.
And there were shoes. There were Troop Shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
I remember
none of
those.
that- now, of course, none of that was in South Carolina because, well, South Carolina in the 80s. What can I say? But I remember that, yeah, there was shoes called Troop, and there was the whole track suits and all that. It was kind of fly. They almost remind me of British Knights, sort of, but you know, that's debatable. But yeah, and I always wonder if that's where they got the name from. Maybe they did. I don't know. I'd have to do some more research.
I have heard that. I think they've said it before. I used to watch. I think it was when they came out with their album in the '90s. I think they said it was like the respect of other people or something like that is what Troop stands for.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Great
yeah,
song.
I mean,
That's
and
why
like, when you hear the song "Spread My Wings," I mean,
even on the rooftop doing like this, like
Yeah.
So yeah, R&B music ain't been the same because people don't reach for the sky no more. Reach out and
right.
And I always said
The remix of this song was hot too. I can't remember who was on the remix. I don't know if it was Big Daddy Kane doing the rap or I don't think it was Rakim. Damn, I gotta look that one up too. But the remix was fire too.
Yeah. And I tolerate the album version with that damn rap in it, but it's bad and it's long.
It is.
It's a lot of bars to be not bars.
Yeah.
It's bad. I don't like it. But one thing I always loved about True as far as their dancing is they were doing the wild 90s dances in perfect precision.
Yes. Yeah.
Like perfectly to do those wild of what the 90s were. Like that was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what to know that they're dancing with New Edition and Troop had their little battle as far as choreography. They used to battle each other, like little battles and stuff. Like their crucial performance on the Soul Train Awards was kind of going at Troop. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah, like God, I miss that. Like just to see the real talent. You know what I mean? Like,
and
God,
the friendly competition.
Friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like you always
we start seeing the decline of the groups, in my opinion. Because think about it, like by the 90s, that's when you stop seeing like groups of 4 or 5 singers. It would be like maybe 3, then it was down to 2, and then after that, just
I always say this, and I say that I feel like if again, or we're doing what we need to do for R&B to do what it needs to do, but I always feel like the groups were kind of like our foundation for our solo artists to really, skyrocket. And now we don't have that foundation of our groups anymore. So it's like we're just dependent on our solo artists to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like if we ain't got no groups, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like if we don't have nothing to stand on, we just got hopefully this solo artist pop. Hopefully this. It was like, all right, our solo artists are doing what they're doing, like the Michael, the Prince, the Whitney, all them. But we still had our groups down there that was kind of solid. You know what I mean? So until then, I feel like we need our A&Rs and our record execs to start getting groups again. You know what I mean? So,
and not just one more.
Oh, well, you said it. I didn't. But you're right. Hey, Mary. Hey, girl.
All right, I'm sorry. What more can't be the only group of black dudes that can sing now?
I'm getting over it because they doing covers and I'm over it. They need to stop.
Me too.
Right, for real.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
You got all that access. Somebody produced them a damn song to sing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. They doing they
gotta go on Instagram and watching them sing all the songs that they daddy and them was singing. And I don't want to see that no more. Y'all can start writing some songs.
Mary, get it together.
Typing it in your notes in your iPhone or whatever, I've been hanging around y'all too long.
We're rubbing off. I like it. I like it a lot.
Cause T came in with it too. I was like, well, shit.
Right. You already know when I do this right here, when I lead it to the microphone.
That's Elise. If Elise leads in, oh, it's curtains. Oh, it's curtains.
And I start rocking.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah,
I do like this.
I'm gonna say
it's
something.
over for your hoes.
Yeah, Timogen said it too. We talked about groups, man. He said, I'm ready for some girl groups for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to him. I like the Shindellas. They're dope.
I've been pushing these girls since 2018, man, and I think they are just dope. And I just want people to really get on them, and they're really, really talented, man. Like,
super talented. Yeah. Shout out to Timogen. He introduced me to them.
Yes.
All right.
Tim, I'm gonna be nice to him right now. Tim do be sending you stuff.
He do
and putting you on to stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as shady as he is, but he still put you on to stuff.
Yeah.
Love him to death. Love him to death, but that little shady one there. Watch it, y'all.
He be doing a lot.
It's funny though, man. Like
it is.
It's funny.
That boy wild.
Yeah, he is hilarious, man. All right, Q. We're gonna introduce. So we've hit our top fives. All right. So thank y'all for those. Those were great. Those were awesome. But just throw a couple songs out there, everybody, and tell everybody some of the songs that missed the cut. What are some songs that missed the cut? All right, Elise, just give us a couple that were on the outside of the top five.
Freddie Jackson.
Which one?
Just pick one. You Are My. I don't.
Yeah, have you ever?
You Are My Lady. Have you ever? All of them.
Yeah.
He don't have no single that I don't that if it come on, I don't be like, that's my favorite song.
I dig Freddie. Mm-hmm. Q, give us a couple that missed the cut, man.
All right, so my top two that missed the cut. First one, Billy Ocean, One of Those Nights that I Feel Like Getting Down, from his debut solo album. Yes. And the other one is Confunction, Ladies Wild. Now, I'm not sure what album this came on, but yeah, it's funky like the 80s.
Yeah. Ooh, I haven't heard that in a minute. Oh,
I may have to add that one to the playlist.
You always do this, yo.
Good.
I grew up in a Billy Ocean household.
Yeah.
I love the song, the Love Zone. Love Zone.
Yeah.
That's a cut. Yeah. That's a sneaky fire ass song.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that goes up for Billy.
Yeah, you had a nice little list of songs that missed the cut. What you got?
Okay, so I wouldn't be but if make that move. That is the R&B Reps theme song, and Q came on the show and talked about it, and we got in depth with it. Baby, I'm Scared of You by Warmack and Warmack.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Me and Elise, that's a funny joint. Me and her just go back and forth to that. Yeah. I love that record.
I love the song, but it's another one that's nonsensical. The words. She said, I'm Little Red Riding Hood, and you're the
fox.
And you're the fox. The fox.
Ain't no fox in no Little Red Riding Hood.
And ain't.
I'm telling you, boy, that coke used to be coking in the 80s.
Listen,
man.
But no, I taught John. No, I like the song. I had the album.
Yeah, I have it too. Love it.
But the rest of that album, though.
No. All right. Remind Me by Patrice Rushen.
Yeah,
that's another good one.
That's a good one.
Woo-hoo. Love that. And then your number one in my book, Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Ooh, Leon Silvers.
Yes, God. And the last one was from Melba Moore and Love's Coming At You.
Love's Coming At You, baby.
I love that record. I love it. And that perfect to me. It just reminds me of my late grandma, R.I.P. to her. She loved that record. She tried to catch the beat. I love it when she can't. And it was just amazing. I love that joint. To have, what's his name? Freddie Jackson on background with her. Like nobody knew him then, you know what I'm saying? So to have him on background like that, and it's just a jam. As soon as it comes on, it hits. So yes.
Yeah, that is a cut.
A cut. Yes.
That's such a good song.
Yeah.
All right, so my Mr. Cut, Luther Vandross, Don't You Know That? I went back and forth with that one. Mm-hmm. That thing was back and forth fivefold. Like
you killed JR. Oh, he bad.
Killed me. T killed it on that one. I love that record.
That's a great record.
You are.
Keith Sweat, Make It Last Forever. This song, like I said, I remember my mom had the album on vinyl, and the cover, it's like it's stuck in my subconscious. Like I just remember her playing this album out from start to finish. Yeah. Man, I love this song, man. It's R&B ballad, gold. There it is. Yeah. The Gap Band, Yearning for Your Love, another perfect R&B song in my opinion. Prince, Baby I'm a Star. I almost included it on the list, but I said it's right on the outside looking in. And probably my favorite song from Thriller, Baby Be Mine.
That's my favorite record on that.
That one was on the outside of mine too, because I had quite an extensive list.
Yeah,
but you know,
I did too. Q, I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I probably wrote down. I'll show you, man. My notes. This is all the songs that I wrote down from the 80s that I didn't include on my list. Like, yeah, it was
you
hard.
said 10, so I did, but I had a lot too.
I think I had like 25 songs.
Yeah.
This was hard. Like the 70s, like I instantly knew when we did our 70s show, it was like boom, 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 boom. Okay, yep, that's my 5. And I rocked with them. But yeah. But Q, hey, look, there go that pose. Keep hitting that pose in there.
You know what is the gem on this album? How Deep Is Your Love?
Yep.
Yeah.
That song is nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Hey, look, my wife done called me out. Talking about I've been writing for 2 weeks for this episode.
I have to believe it. I should come up with like a few days before.
I like her. I like this lady.
Like ever.
Huh?
I'm sure you was writing yours out like in advance. Like me, I did about a few days before. Like
every time I would think of a song, I'd be like, "Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one." Yeah. So to come up with 5 is hard, man.
Yeah, that was tough.
All right, Q, I'm going to let you introduce. We're going to start closing out. I'm going to let you introduce JR and Elise to our new segment called This or That.
Yep, we decided to come up with a new segment called This or That. So real quick, we're just going to do a rapid fire This or That, and you just tell us whichever one you think is correct in your opinion.
Okay.
So we're going to start this thing off first. Jerry Curl Soul or New Jack Swing?
Jerry Curl me.
New Jack Swing.
New Jack.
I'm gonna go with Jerry Curl.
Okay, so we even. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all can participate in this too. So Jerry Curl, New Jack Swing. Type your responses in the chat there. All right.
Next one. Lionel Richie or Luther?
Luther.
I might be on you, Lonnie, but not against Luther.
No, not in that matchup.
Okay. Solar Records or Taboo Records?
You are mean. You are mean.
That's not nice.
That is dirty. That is dirty.
Cute.
Damn. That's rude.
I'm gonna go with Solar.
I'm gonna go.
Q, that was me.
Oh, man.
You be doing a lot.
Oh God. I'm gonna take Solar. I'm gonna go with Solar.
I'm gonna go Solar also, but that's mean. And that's just off the strength for Shalimar. Honestly,
I'm going Solar.
I can't give up my Shalimar.
Yeah, I'm going Solar off the strength because of this, man.
All right. I'm gonna do 2 more, and then I'll do 2 more. Let's see. Atlantic Star or Midnight Star?
Atlantic. for me.
Mm.
But just Atlantic Star, not Atlantic Moon
Oh, oh, oh.
with
She
two
talking about
N's.
she talking about the A&M Records period. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I'm just a Sharon Bryant loyalist.
I'm gonna go with.
It's
I'm gonna
close
go with
though.
Atlantic. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Atlantic Star. I'm gonna go with them. Not Atlantic Moon. I'm gonna go with Atlantic Star.
I'm going Midnight Star.
You going Midnight Star?
Well, that don't surprise me. That makes sense, and we know the why. So yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I like Atlantic Star. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going Midnight Star.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Atlantic because, like Elise said, I'm Sharon Bryant loyalist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And last one, BDP versus the Juice Crew.
You're mean. Oh God!
Oh, okay. I gotta think about this one. Can we come back to it?
Okay, I'll tell you what, that was kind of mean. So I'm gonna give you all a bonus, right? And then we really will wrap up. Madonna or Cyndi Lauper?
Madonna.
Madonna.
I'm going with Madonna.
They're like, don't make me choose, man.
Oh God! Yeah,
I
go with Madonna. I'll go with Madonna. Yeah, I go with Madonna.
All right, so now back to BDP versus Juice Crew.
Oh
I'm
God!
going Juice Crew, so
I'm going with Juice Crew.
I'm going Juice Crew.
Yeah.
This is terrible. I'm gonna go with the Juice Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The teacher is everything, but that's all he was BDP. So
yeah,
he was
yeah.
He was BDP.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I throw one more out there?
Yeah.
All right, last one. This is the battle of the funk band turned pop. Cool in the Gang or Cameo?
Cameo.
Cool.
Cameo for me.
Pop. Right.
Cameo.
We finally got a split decision.
Close though. Close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do this last one. I promise. All right. The battle of super producers, divas. Karen White or Pebbles?
Karen White for me.
I'm going Karen White.
I'm going with Karen White too. JR.
And that also is me because I love me some Pebbles, so that was kind of mean. But Karen White is you didn't ask for explanation. Karen White.
Yeah. Karen White.
And I just got Always on vinyl, and I love that. I'm gonna go with Pebbles. I'm gonna go with Pebbles.
Johnny and Sherelle on the backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good song.
Yes.
All right. Q. We're gonna give y'all some thanks. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Thank y'all for taking the time out of your busy Saturdays to spend it with Q and I. We truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank y'all for the love y'all have shown us being new to this whole music discussion thing. We appreciate y'all. Much love.
Yes, we do.
Real.
Yes, we do. We thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining us this evening. Of course, I knew y'all was gonna make it live. More live than we normally do.
Did not
but that's why we wanted y'all on here. So thank you.
Y'all guys are amazing. Y'all know I rock with y'all. Like, y'all guys are amazing. Like, if I'm not working on Saturdays, I am watching y'all, and I'm in the lives cutting up, as y'all know. Yeah. And I'm just a fan because you guys love what y'all do, and it's just great to watch. You know what I'm saying? I be sitting here with my notebook, like, what? Did he just what? Like, I'm sitting here with my notebook, and you guys are just dope, man. Like, for real. And I just love watching y'all. And please keep doing what y'all doing because you guys are needed for real. You know what I mean? Like seeing y'all subscribers go up and all this, it's like, yo, we talking about y'all and our stuff. Like we family with y'all. Like it's just, and it's just an honor for us to come on and talk with y'all. You know what I mean? So this is great. So definitely giving y'all flowers. Please keep doing what y'all doing because y'all definitely needed in this for real.
We appreciate it. And
we also want to thank our audience. Thank y'all for watching with us. You know, I know tonight's show was a little longer than what it normally is, but we thank y'all for being with us this evening.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah, man. The chat's still popping. We 2.5 hours in. When I told Q, I said when we had them on, we already know. Go ahead.
We gonna talk 2 hours.
We gonna talk. Yeah, we gonna talk.
But I will say this much, everybody. If you like the 1980s episode we just did, get ready because next month we doing 90s R&B.
Oh,
we're doing 90s next month, baby.
We doing 90s R&B. Now you know that was the soundtrack for most of us up in here. You know it was. You know what I'm saying? Whether you were in high school, whether you were in college, whether you was in the military, whether you was just trying to figure it out at a certain point, you know what I'm saying? You knew that the 90s, yes, this is our time.
Yes. Yeah.
This is our time. So now we're gonna figure out if we're going to include a central figure to that 90s R&B sound. We're gonna have to talk about it. But
man,
I feel like we probably won't, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Q, you want to talk about having to whittle down a list of 5? We may not be able to do it. We may have to bump up to 7 like we did with the 70s.
Hell, we might have to
we have to do 10. Yeah,
we might have to do 10. Like we probably should have did 10 tonight.
Yeah,
for sure, but we might have to do 10 for 90s R&B because it's so much.
Mm-hmm. Look, my wife been going in on the chat, y'all. Look at this. I can't wait. I might even sit in the room with T. Harris.
I might set up in the basement for this one.
Man. And this one, look, somebody's already said it. We're going to have to do 10.
Oh, yes.
I think we can give y'all 10. I think we might have to give y'all 10 for that episode because it just basically was the soundtrack for the majority of us, if not everybody.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, again, thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. We apologize again for the delay, but y'all stayed patient. Y'all remain with us, and y'all still here. So we appreciate the support and the love that we get from y'all. And tune in to next month's episode. We haven't decided on a date yet, but as soon as we get that information out, we will share it with the masses. Again, thank you to our guests.
Thanks, everybody.
Elise, the R&B Reps.
Yes.
And on that, we are closing. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Be blessed.
Be blessed, everybody. See you.